Peace, y'all. Happy Wednesday. It's a Mercury day. It's all about communication. So I thought I'd hop on live, whether anyone is here or not, because I shared this information over on Instagram, and I thought I'd try to recreate it for you guys here on YouTube instead of just uploading what I put on Instagram. If you're new to my page, I'm Zoha. I'm a yoga teacher, a certified yoga teacher, certified Reiki wellness practitioner, a facilitator for women's groups and all types of healing. Have worked as a counselor, an advocate, and a community organizer. And so I like to share my experiences on my channel. Sometimes that's with a yoga video. Sometimes that's with a video like this where I'm sharing a thought process. So I'm going to dive right into it because I don't, want to waste time. So today I was thinking about patterns, and one of the patterns that I am working on changing is being nice, the need to be nice. So the one thing that you have to know about a pattern is, where does it come from? Where did it begin? And in my work with women, when I'm coaching women and doing facilitation groups with women, I'm always talking about trauma. I actually wrote a book called The Imposter's Guide to Self-Love and Healing, and it's on my website. That's in the bio. And that talks about my journey to self and authenticity and healing my trauma, and how I do that and continue to do that process. But as we're talking about changing patterns and the pattern of niceness, where did this come from? Where did I develop this belief? I developed it as a kid, and I developed it as a kid because I wanted to be liked. It was important for me to be liked. I was a social outcast. I grew up in spaces where actually everyone was a social outcast, but I was more outcast than norm. And so when you're on the fringe of a fringe environment, it plants a seed in you of wanting to be loved, wanting to be liked. And so I learned how to be nice there, and it hadn't created anything wonderful for me. It created a lot of chaos and desperation, and that's not what I wanted in my life. So as I got older and I started to realize that, that nice mask was keeping me from the life that I deserve, was keeping me from the relationships I deserve, keeping me from the jobs I deserve, keeping me from the success and all the things that I wanted for myself in my life, because the niceness was a false mask. It was something I developed out of lack. And anything that we develop out of lack is going to create more lack, right? So wherever you created the space, that's what that space is going to continue to create. So what is the journey now? It's more about being authentic. And if being nice is not authentic, then I'm not nice. I can be kind, I can be loving, I can be supportive, I can be all those things. But that doesn't mean I have to be nice while I'm doing those things. I think that a lot of times we mix up the idea that we have to be nice and have to perform platitudes in order to have successful relationships. And that is not always true. I have found on my journey that being authentic and clear and concise has been more illuminating and more connecting than what I previously was doing, because that created a lot of chaos that I had to clean up, because it wasn't authentic and it wasn't connected to my true self. It was connected to a lack conversation. And once you start to realize that lack is a belief system, lack is something that you either are born into or create based off of your circumstances, is not real. Because even the planet we live on, like there's like 2 billion trees behind me, is abundant. There's air, there's clouds, like there's nothing lacking in this space that we're in the realm that we're in. So even to have that concept in our head is out of bounds for the space that we are functioning in. It's a low assessment of the space. So working on releasing the lack of needing to be nice in order to get along, and moving to a space of authenticity where I get to be my full self in spaces. I get to connect with people truthfully, and whether or not they like that, that's their decision. It's not my goal to manipulate or harm other people by trying to show up as something that is more palatable to them. And when I did do that, that's exactly what people would do to me. They would mirror that back to me. They would mirror those types of behaviors back to me. And then I would have all these chaotic relationships where people were fake and didn't really like me for me and didn't enjoy my company genuinely. They were attaching themselves to something I either had or someone I knew or XYZ. And so once I started releasing those spaces and started creating more authentic spaces for me to create relationship and express myself, I was able to release this pattern. So whenever I feel the need to be nice, I can check in with myself and say, is this a lack conversation am I having, or I truly want to be kind, loving, and supportive? Because that's the operative words instead of being nice. Nice usually is a mask. It's usually fake. So I can check in and say, do I want to be kind, loving, and supportive in this space? And I get to decide that. I don't choose that I have to be that way, because I don't have to be anything I don't desire to be. And also, when I'm doing something that I don't desire to be, am I actually doing it? I'm not. I'm performing. And that performance is harmful. It's harmful to me, and it's harmful to the people who receive the performance. And so I'm always checking in with myself around that pattern. Like, is this pattern, and also the other thing is that pattern is creating things. The things that I'm creating with that lack pattern, they're not going to last. They have no foundation, because that's not true. I don't lack, right? I'm abundant. I'm on an abundant planet with lots of resources, with billions of people. So that is a false thought process. I just wanted to share this because I see it a lot. A lot of people on the internet struggling with this, the need to be kind, loving, and supportive, or nice when they don't feel genuinely that. When something more appropriate or being direct or curt or placing a boundary is more in order, people fall back onto the nice thing in order to save face or to feel good or to appeal to be the bigger person, when in reality they're seething and inside, and it's harming them, it's hurting them, because they're basically suppressing their anger, and that's going to turn into a slow frustration that bubbles up on someone else who doesn't deserve it, or on themselves in the form of a disease, because that's where that goes when you don't get it out. It goes inside your body and it creates something for you. It could just be inflammation, it could be arthritis, it could be cancer. But that's what happens when we are not authentic with our feelings. They create dis-ease in our body or in our mind. And sometimes that's also a thing. Like, a lot of times when I feel people have depression, not that depression isn't real, it's very real, but a lot of depression comes from suppression of your energy, suppression of your true self, suppression of your ideals, suppression of your feelings. A lot of that is based in that. It's not truly, not that you aren't, it's not true depression, but it's more the fact that you don't feel comfortable enough to express yourself. And so you're living in gloom and doom on the inside. Instead of getting that out, expressing it, talking about the nature of what you had to express, or creating a safe space like therapy, counseling, or a good friend, or journaling, whatever that looks like for you in order to thrive, instead of sucking that all in and harming yourself. We do a lot of self-harm when we're inauthentic. We do a lot of self-harm behaviors, like overindulging in liquor, drugs, food, sexual behaviors that are hurtful and harmful to us, environments that don't promote our wellness, hanging out with people who don't really love us or like us, or want the best for us. That's where all of that energy goes when we don't use it, when we're not authentic and we are not able to create from a space of wellness or abundance. I just wanted to hop on and share this. I don't have a lot more to say. If you are interested in doing some yoga or Reiki or coaching, I have a website, or purchasing a book, specifically The Imposter's Guide for Self-Love and Healing, which is a book that describes how to work with your trauma and how to heal and move through that. I'm going to hop off here and do the rest of my day. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I can get this down pat, get on here every week. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying. I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Peace, y'all.